I am particularly offended by other people's bad habits that are not the same as my own at the present time. The way they always do those things, this and that and other stuff that I don't have the time, money, or energy to do anymore. But if you've got some things to say about stuff I do every day, that is not the same as yourself at the present time. Who, tell me who, that's WHO, died and made you king.
Be me. Pouring military special on ice. Smells like shitty tequila. Oh god, it just smells like salt. I realized I forgot to try it with ice last week, so I'm going to try it with ice right now.
Let me know if that's better.
You know, it is what it is. It's military special with ice. It's slightly colder. Let's see.
we
Jerry
got a
comes
puppy.
in and just deer. I'm surprised Becca's not screaming right now. There's a pupper.
Oh my god, I didn't see it.
We have a
Is
pupper
the-
on screen.
It's an actual
Is the
human
puppy
dog.
wearing a
Oh,
sweater?
put it back, Jerry. Where'd it
Hold
go?
on. Hold on, I'm fixing his pajamas.
Put it back.
He said he's fixing its pajamas.
Yes.
Damn it!
Oh my
I
god.
thought you were a tough man, Jerry. A man's
You
man.
dress it for school too?
It's
Well-
so tiny.
Look, he doesn't have any hair.
Why?
He's a
Oh,
he's a hairless Chinese crested.
it's one of those kinds.
Yeah.
It's a baby.
I mean, there's
Yeah, he's-
hair somewhere.
He's
on his
yeah,
face.
he's got hair on his head here.
What's his name? Napoleon?
No, his name is Choyo Bao Bao, which is skunk baby in Chinese.
Oh.
Toyo
He's
Bow
got
Bow
this-
Bow.
It's a great name.
He's got this like white streak on his head here. Let's see. There you go.
Yeah, see that. Kind of like a skunk.
Yeah.
Well, it's quiet. You know, that's good.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
shivering. All right, I'm gonna go put him
Really?
back out, and then
No, don't.
I'll be back. Well, he's got to eat, and he'll be a pain in the ass. So
Maybe we get him
This
later.
show is going to be like an hour and a half tops. It'll be fine.
hold on.
So I don't know if you guys have ever heard, but it's supposedly an ancient Chinese curse. Like if you really hate someone, you'll tell them, "May you live in interesting times." Have you guys ever heard that?
Mm-mm.
I think probably
No.
from you.
Yes.
I
May
have at
you
some
live in
point.
interesting times, because generally interesting means a lot of really shitty stuff's
Yeah.
happening. So today on Verbal Assault, we've got Brad. Brad was taken out by a murder hornet.
Is it hornet?
Wasp.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. Is it
Murder
hornet?
wasp.
Murder wasp.
Hornet
Wasp.
sounds cooler.
Yeah, it's easier to say a word like hornet than wasp.
So he got taken out by a wasp, and he had a quote moderate allergic reaction.
Yeah,
That's
he called me in a fuss.
did he?
Steve-O! Steve-O, do
Crying.
you have any Benadryl at the house? I have some Claritin. I said, but if you're asking for Benadryl, I have a feeling that it's not for allergies. He's like,
Jerry, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
well,
Steven.
he told me the story. And he was working. He was installing something, and there was like one of those little, I guess, like I don't know, playpen or tool shed or like in my head, in which he'll probably correct me next week. It was like one of those little plastic like playhouses, you know. But he was like reaching around it or through it or something, and a wasp
What's
came
he
out. He wasn't.
install-
Huh?
He's installing stuff in playhouses.
I don't think it was in the playhouse, but I think he had to like work around it or something. I don't know. I now I'm realizing I'm totally butchering the story, but just just come with me.
Okay.
And he saw a wasp, and he didn't think much of it, but he didn't realize that he was within like 2 feet of their nest because it was behind this whatever shed or whatever it was. Yeah, stung him on the elbow, I guess, and I guess he didn't
Right on the
realize
elbow.
he was allergic. So yeah,
and he's all swollen up.
yeah, and
He
he did
couldn't make it today.
he did some quick googling and found out that if you were like if you were gonna die, you would have life threatening issues within like 30 seconds. So he's not gonna die. I didn't see him either. He was in his room whenever I got home. outside.
Yeah, I'm just imagining him just laying in there. There's like bluish purple light, and he's got like ice on his elbow, and he's like, "Siri, tell me something nice."
I'm picturing the.
And then we got yeah.
I was picturing the hot girl from the movie The Mist. That when she got stung by that like locust thing, and and then like she gets stung like in the neck, and then her face like swells up and turns like blue and purple and stuff. Yeah, she's not hot then.
No. And then Dave, I guess he got home and his kitchen's flooded. I'm imagining a lot of soggy tater tots.
I think he saw Brad's text, and then he's like, well, I got to do something better than that.
Oh yeah, he had to top it because he was his credibility was threatened.
Yeah,
he had to top it.
Yeah.
So guys, we were supposed to Patrick, Brian, a couple other dudes. We were going to go camping this last weekend. This is a yearly thing for many years.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So I drove up Thursday for everybody else. I was going to have a lone night in the wilderness by myself. And I got out there, beautiful weather. It was like the first perfect weather we've had. It was great.
Yeah.
And apparently when you have a pandemic, you can't maintain roads at all. So it was the worst dirt road I've ever driven on. Instead of taking an hour to get up, it took 2 hours.
Whoa.
And then to come back down was 4 hours. But yeah, so I get up there. Every camping site's taken. I guess this is the only place that's open right now. On the way down, there's an old hippie lady in an SUV, and her back driver's side tire is completely flat. This is on this shitty road, and I'm kind of squeezing by her, and I stop and I look at her. Our windows are like open right here. I was just like, your tire's flat. She's like, oh, I thought I heard something pop. I thought something happened. I was like, yeah, you got a spare? She's like, yeah, I think so. Like, and I'm so angry at this point because this camping trip is fucked.
Yeah.
And I've bottomed out my car twice trying to get in and out of this place. It was fucking terrible. And I was like, oh, I don't want to help her, but I really should. All right,
Yeah.
I'll help you. I'll change the tire for you, no problem. And of course, she had all these shelves crammed into the back of her truck, her SUV, that she had to pull out.
Yeah.
And it was a big fucking pain in the ass getting that tire out. It had like this. I had to figure out where this fucking thing. You had to pop this thing into the back and the bumper, and then turn this thing, and it lowers it. Yeah, and I was like, it only took me a few minutes. I felt pretty good about that because I told her, I'm like, you're lucky. I'm glad to help, but you've stumbled upon somebody that's not very handy. But I'll try my best. I can change a fucking tire.
Yeah.
So I changed her tire. It happened. That was good. And I was like, I feel better now. I helped this lady out. And she's like, can I give you any money? No, of course not. Don't give me any money. So
you got the blowjob, didn't you?
What?
You said you got the blowjob, didn't you?
Yeah, I was like, how's your head game? Is what I said. Yeah. So I kept driving. I finally get back to cell reception. And I told Brian, I was like, called Brian. I was like, this place is packed out. There's nowhere to go. Call Patrick, tell him, and then
I was scared when you called for a minute.
I should have just been like oh God,
safety.
Just screaming. Yeah.
Like you crawled to the top of the mountain to get service.
So I said, guys, is there anywhere that we could camp? Because we want to watch a movie. Patrick has a projector and a screen. We watch a movie in the woods. We don't want any neighbors.
Yep.
And Brian's like, I don't know anywhere where we're not going to be surrounded by people bothering us. So I said, well, guys, I have a backyard. There's some woods on one side. There's a trampoline on the other. And so everybody came to my place and they camped in my yard for 2 nights.
Can you not like go off into the woods and just find kind of a spot that's where the trees are separated enough. You just like pretend you're out in the woods.
No, these woods are
Not now, no.
there's a lot of undergrowth. They're really nasty, and I don't know who owns any of that anyway. There might be some-
It's not part of the same
Yeah.
land.
No, it's not. We don't own those woods. So, but yeah, so it wasn't it wasn't the same, but I guess we made the best of it.
Yep.
Well, good for you.
Yeah,
That
so
sucks though, man. I mean, I guess any good camping area is not going to be. I was going to ask you, what, can you not make reservations? But any camp area that's worth its salt is going to be pretty primitive, and just if you can find a spot, then there you go. There's no hookups. There's not like a bathroom nearby. Yeah.
Well, a couple of the lower spots, on the lower end of it have there's a couple porta potties, but that's where like the group camping sites are, and that's not where we want to go. We want to go up to where we're by the river, up in the woods.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's how my week has gone. It was okay. We dealt with it. Steve-O, how about you?
It's been a good week. I mean, just looking forward to watching astronauts finally launch.
Yeah,
it's been really the only thing I think about here recently.
Next week? It's
a week from today. Yeah, by this actual time next week, they should already be in orbit.
Awesome.
Nice.
I look forward to that update next week. That'll be sweet.
Yeah, I hope they launch on Wednesday so that it will be an update and not just they scrubbed, because the backup day is Saturday. So it'll just be hope they go Saturday.
Okay, great. Patrick, how about you? Do you have any more wives or kids?
No, I don't have any more wives or kids.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. You're slowing down. Anything else?
Yeah.
He's
Anything
about to
else?
move to Utah.
Just excited to get back in the gym now.
Yeah, me too.
The first day I actually did it with a mask, and that was terrible. And then
oh god,
I went in,
yeah.
Went in the next day, seeing nobody was wearing masks except for the workers. So I was like, "Fuck yeah!" So
I will sell you an American flag mask.
I got a Star Wars mask, so I'm good.
I also have one that says "virtuous" on it.
Oh,
yeah.
Does it have a breathe hole on it?
Yeah, it's got a tongue hole in it. It's virtuous, and right in the R, there's a tongue hole.
Nice.
Jerry,
I
go
don't
ahead.
like lifting up my mask to take my drink when I'm running.
No, you don't. Fuck that. Nobody in my gym wears a mask. Just the workers. The two people I have working wear their mask. Jerry, I see you sipping out of a jar.
I am. That's actually what I went to go get.
Yeah.
And I picked up the dog along the way. But I sold a car the other day, and the guy had 3 jars of peach pie moonshine, and he gave me a jar.
Wow.
Fuck yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah, it is good.
You're smiling like it's good.
It's
How much did you take off the car for that?
He gave me this after the deal was done. We were moving the stuff over from his one car to the other. So
nice.
It's smooth. It's not bitter at all. I mean, there's no aftertaste. There's no real alcohol taste, but
yeah, that shit'll sneak up on you.
Yes, it will.
Yeah. I've had some of that homemade. I've not had peach. That sounds awesome. I've had some apple stuff that was amazing.
Yeah, so that's good.
How's getting back to work? So I guess you did sell a car, so
yeah, I've been actually doing really, really well. And I've been back to work a month and a half. Well, a month and 4 days, and I mean I've sold a ton of cars, and I mean I've sold 19 cars in 5 weeks.
Damn.
Yeah.
God damn.
Wait, you've been back to work for 5 weeks?
I've been back to work since the 16th of April. Yeah.
So around here, we were getting emails, from all the local dealerships about like buying a car without ever having to come in except for pickup. Actually, no, I think they were even offering deliveries. Were you doing that while y'all were closed? Was your dealership doing it?
We never closed.
They were considered essential.
We were considered essential, and the reason I was off is just because of the stuff going on with my family. But Yeah, we never closed.
I mean,
and
you could tell that story again. It was never actually recorded.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
Jerry
the
was
lost,
quarantined.
yeah, the lost Jerry coronavirus story.
Great.
Yeah, give it just a briefly. Tell
Yeah,
us.
I didn't want to ask you to retell it right then, but hell,
Yeah,
it's
you don't
been a
need
few
the
weeks
whole-
now, so
It has
every detail.
So over the winter, my son and his family lived with us, and my grandson had an eye infection late March. We took him to the doctor. They tested him for COVID for some reason, but it turned out he was positive. We all got quarantined along with my daughter's boyfriend. So there's
awesome.
me, my wife, Clara, her boyfriend, my youngest, my daughter-in-law, and my grandson. There were 8 of us in the house. And they quarantined all of us. And long story short, we all got tested. My grandson, my daughter-in-law, and the boyfriend ended up being positive, and the rest of us were negative.
Oh, the boyfriend ended up being positive.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
that's
was
new
positive.
detail.
But nobody ever got sick. I don't have it. Nobody else has ever had it.
And there was no antibody test?
No. Now I am gonna get tested again sometime within the next week. I'm required to. The Tennessee National Guard is requiring all the members to get tested again before we can go into duty. So
with the fucking the swab test,
it can be either the swab or the antibody test. So I just got to figure out where I'm going to go.
But you gotta come back and tell us about it, because I've seen some videos and it makes the swab test look horrendous.
So my neighbor's a nurse, and my youngest actually got the swab test done. And they stick that thing. I mean, it's basically a big old Q-tip,
like down to your lungs. It looks like.
And it's supposed to go. It's basically supposed to go like from back to here.
Ugh.
Like, I mean, that literally is like you measure from right here, right there, and that's how far it's supposed to go back. And they're supposed to put it in one side, circle it around for 15 seconds, pull it out. 15 in one side, pull it out. 15 in the other.
It gives me flashbacks to like when you go to the health department and you get the free tests for all the STDs and stuff, and they do the Q-tip in the tip of the dick thing. And they stick it in there, and then they twist it in there.
Oh, there's a story there. Why don't you tell us about that, Stu?
Well, it's just, I mean, it's something that you should do from time to time if you're sexually active, And, yeah. I had it done a couple of times, It was just like, hey, fuck it. Like the first time, it was like, oh, it's free. All right, let's just go do it. And then they got to that test. And they like it's not a Q-tip. Like the tip of it is not like what you're thinking, like a normal Q-tip. It's maybe the same thickness as the shaft part of a Q-tip, but it's still something going in the pee hole.
I did not realize that you had sounded this whole time.
That's what I was thinking.
All this time, he never said anything.
Well, that's. To me, honestly, that's like when we talk about sounding, like that's why I don't understand how anybody could do it, because that shit is painful.
Yeah,
really painful.
PTSD.
Yeah, and they just stick it in there and then they twirl it around a few times, not 15 seconds. I mean, I'm not sure what would be worse, but it just the idea, it's like it's a surprising pain. Like you have no idea how bad that hurts until it's happening, and you've got to stay still.
Oh yeah, listen, pal.
What would you know?
I think mine's a little worse, because not only it's basically the same concept, except for some reason the hole's not big enough on its own, so they have to stick a thing in there, and then they're like, this is going to be a little uncomfortable, and then boom, it just expands, and the whole time you're fucking spread eagle with your in somebody's face. It is the best time of my life.
Now, are we talking? We're talking the vagina or the urinary tract? That other hole. Which hole are we talking about? Right?
The pee hole.
The pee hole.
I've got to be honest. I'm not sure. It's a mess down there. It's all jumbled up. I don't
We're gonna
know.
have we're gonna have an anatomy class. We're gonna have a girls' anatomy class with Becca. And we're gonna point these.
Wait,
these
girls
holes
don't pee
out.
out of their butt? What are you talking about?
It's a cloaca. It's like a chicken. It's just an all-encompassing cavity.
No, it's definitely the main one.
Yeah.
The big hole. The one you
Okay.
want. That's the one that they go in.
I don't know. If you have like a urinary tract problem or infection or some shit.
They can tell that without having to stick anything in there.
Oh, okay. Well, Becca, anything else to say for how you're doing?
I was trying to decide all day long what flavor of White Claw I was going to drink today.
It's a tough
And
one.
I couldn't land on one, so I purchased a variety pack. I've got all of the flavors that were available at 7-Eleven.
I'm disappointed
I'm
that they don't have a white grape.
To be honest, I am
Did
too.
you know, like the Walmart brand, the carbonated? It's like it's not just like carbonated. I don't know. It's like it's the clear sodas that they sell, and they come in like like grape and all these different flavors. The white grape is top notch.
You can probably mix it with one, and then there you have it.
There you go.
Yeah, Becca, I can see the drunk on you. I can see.
Can
it.
you?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was there yet.
So which one do you have now?
I have a raspberry, and that will be followed by, I have 3 here with me. Another raspberry, a black cherry, and a ruby grapefruit, which I've had before. The other one that was in the pack was lime, and it was okay, but it just kind of tastes like Sprite that they forgot to put half of the stuff in. That makes
Lime
it
is
taste
my
good.
favorite.
It would be.
Yeah.
You limey. Would be. All right, I want to Steve-O, let's go to this public humiliation one. That one.
All right. Gotcha.
I want everybody to see these pictures. This is cafe in Germany. Can everybody see that?
Yeah. Everybody see it?
So they've got these people sitting in a cafe outside, as you do in Europe. Everybody's at a cafe, and they've got hats with pool noodles attached on the tops there to enforce social distancing rules.
Those pool noodles are not 6 feet. Maybe because of like my pool noodle is 3 feet, your pool noodle is 3 feet, and so our pool noodles shan't touch. Never the twain shall touch.
Well, you'd have if you touch tips, you'd probably be far enough.
Yeah. Don't get any closer.
Yeah, only tips. If you scroll down,
All right.
there's another place in Maryland.
Oh.
Yeah, play that video.
Wait, I'm make sure I didn't mute this site here. No, I did not. Not sure about the volume.
It's just some stupid
stupid music. Okay. Wow.
Stock marimba. Now
you walk around with a table. Oh, except you get hung up on everything.
This is America. This is what we're going to be living with.
This is us now.
This is your new normal. Are you ready to go have fun with your friends? Get your bumper table. Every one of those people need to be slapped. Why the fuck would you humiliate yourself to go to a cafe or a fucking bar? And
that's a bar?
That's like a restaurant.
Oh wait,
the other
it says on there. What's the name of it? It just says this restaurant, but on the table it said something on like the last one. Let's see. What does
I can see.
Yeah, I can't tell what it says. Oh, fishtails.
Fishtails. Yeah.
Sounds like Cate place would do something like this.
Yeah. Jerry, would you do that to get a fish sandwich?
No.
What if it's free?
Oh, well, free fish sandwich, maybe.
I could almost see being in the right mood and being okay with it if you're feeling a little silly.
That's
Drank
the
enough
thing.
of
But
this.
to require everyone to do it, I'm surprised that this many people are doing it.
It's like, but this is thing. It's like go online and everybody's got their fucking cutesy quarantine video. Like they, the little game they play, the thing they did with their cat.
Mm-hmm.
Here's me shaving my beard in a funny way or whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody makes this shit so fucking cute, and it's like, oh, it's so awesome. But look at these stupid assholes. This is the way we want to fucking live our lives.
This is virtual
Don't just
signaling.
accept this shit.
Yeah.
If a business wants you to do that, don't go.
Yeah.
Go to another place.
Leave. Yeah.
And like the hats, I mean, they're passing that hat to the next customer.
That's true. Yeah.
New lice epidemic sweeps Germany.
Was that Germany? That wasn't Germany, was it?
Yeah, the
Oh,
pool
the
hat
hat
the
was
pool noodle
Germany?
one
Oh,
was
cafe
Germany,
in
yeah.
Germany. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think it's fucking stupid. Get back to being normal people.
Yeah. And I've seen a bunch of tweets and stuff lately about how the U.S. has the most cases and even most cases per capita. I don't know if that's true, but I wonder if there's any safety in that. The fact that we've had so many people get it that it's like, all right, maybe we're just gonna fucking power through, and we'll have the herd immunity in no time.
It's what we need. Jerry,
exactly.
Jerry, you have battled the coronavirus firsthand. I probably got it from this bottle of whiskey you gave me, and I'm thankful for it. Can you give
You're
us
welcome.
give us your thoughts on this shit?
I think this social distancing tools are going to be like the new virtual signaling. I mean, who can come up with the most humiliating way to try to keep your social distance in the name of public safety or just trying to do the right thing or whatever.
Or hoping that you end up in a tweet by CBS News so everyone knows about your business.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the only way to make that any better is if they actually came out and said, hey, we're at Fishtails and we're doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I apologize for moving. I just cannot get freaking comfortable.
Sorry, man. Drink more of that moonshine.
Yeah.
Things just seem to get more comfortable at some point.
All
right.
Did you know that this just kind of goes? I mean, I think another one of your things has to do with coronavirus too. But I came across this tweet with a video about how Australia and 60 other international countries, 60 other countries are investigating. Well, let's just hear what it says.
We're going to go first to Fiona Whelan in Canberra as a global coalition
Take notes
throws
back on
its
these
support
accents.
behind Australia's push for an independent inquiry into the origins of coronavirus. And Fiona, has there been any response from China?
Well, not yet, Ali, but look, things are already very tense between Australia and China, and this certainly could add to that. So a coalition of 62 nations will be calling for an independent inquiry into the origins of coronavirus, and they'll do this with a motion at the World Health Assembly this week. So Australia was the first nation to call for this review, but European nations have been doing the same, and together Australia and the EU have managed to rally this international support. So they've got backing from the UK, Indonesia, Japan, South Korea, South Africa, Turkey, Russia, and so on. The United States is not yet on the list. But look, Beijing has already made it clear that it's not happy with Australia for pushing for this. It calls it a political attack, and it's now playing hardball over trade. It's expected to slap import taxes on Australian barley this week. Some of our beef exports have also been hit with bans. It's feared it could also take aim at other Australian markets, such as wine and dairy and even education. Whether or not it decides to take further action, that could really depend on how that vote at the World Health Assembly goes tomorrow.
So, I guess they're investigating if China created it or purposely let it out, even if they didn't actually create it themselves.
Yeah, there's more and more people kind of pointing fingers in that direction.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I get from that is I really just hate the Australian accent. unless you're wrestling a crocodile, I just don't want to hear you. I think that's
I love it.
I think it's really annoying. I think it's super annoying.
So speaking of accents, I listened to my shopping cart speech last week, and
Yeah.
damn, I suck at the JFK accent.
So you were trying to do JFK.
It still worked.
I was failing at.
Well,
trying to
if
do
we didn't know you were trying to do JFK, then it would just be like, all right, it's just reading this fucking thing about shopping carts.
I just
Yeah.
assumed you were just, saying it with some force. I like, oh, he must have not got the whole JFK part of it.
Yeah, no, it was supposed to be JFK-esque, and
It's got to be a little bit more through the nose.
Yeah, you got to drag your words out. You got to do that.
I just can't do that.
I refuse to believe that you can't do that, Jerry.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills.
Good job.
Thank you. It's right through the nose. You got to talk right through the nose, Sonny.
All right, Steve, pull up the other one I sent you.
I have two more from you. Oh, not the Joe Rogan one. The deer
The
one?
deer one.
Okay.
Yeah, the deer one. Okay, guys, I'm going to try to be as nice as possible on this. Scroll down. So this person is this is a new member of the Twitch Trust and Safety Council. Go down to the next video first.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Let's watch the deer gasm.
No, I'm saving that. So this is the video that kind of sparked off this whole thing. If you'll just play that and let's yeah.
The only way to have a level playing field at the highest level of play is to have is to not have voice chat, to not have people give up their linguistic profiles. I mean, and maybe you think, if you are a competitive gamer, which a lot of people have been like, Steph, you clearly know nothing about competitive play. Well, competition, by the way, y'all, competition requires you to get every advantage possible. To become the top 0.01% in any video game, you have to squeeze every amount of advantage you can possibly get.
What?
Voice chat is unfair.
Why? What the fuck is she
What?
talking about?
What this person is saying is that voice chat, okay, if you want to be the best in an online game, you have to be using voice chat. And some people feel uncomfortable, perhaps trans people or females feel uncomfortable using voice chat. Therefore, voice chat is discriminatory and nobody should be able to use it.
Because if one of your competitors realizes you're a girl, then
They
what?
might be like, "Shh, I want to slap your titties. Hey, girl on the internet, let me slap your titties."
So don't be on voice chat. If you don't want voice chat,
But then you can't win the game. You can't.
Why?
win
Now
Fortnite.
you're oppressing it, Steve-O.
why would you?
Telling
But
you.
if it's all like, every man for themselves. I'm sorry, every man or woman or trans or whatever, every person for themselves.
Not even a person, it's a deer.
Every deer.
Oh, this is a
yeah.
deer.
So
Oh, sorry.
this person,
Every kin.
is a deerkin. They're trans deer. If you'll scroll down,
Because like when you play Rocket League, it's I don't want to play with people that I can't communicate with because it's important.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about, it's all right.
If you're trying to
Go
type
down to the next
stuff
one.
out, it's terrible.
Yeah,
Go down to the
you're
next
trying to
one,
You
communicate
don't
with
have enough time to.
yeah, and if it's everyone for themselves, then why would you need to communicate with the others anyway? And what good is that communication going to do? Unless it's, I guess, I don't know, they're team up on this person because it's a girl. I don't know.
I don't listen. I don't want to. Listen, if this person's on voice chat, nobody's gonna confuse them for a girl. Let's be honest.
Right.
Skip down to the next video.
Oh.
Not that one. The next one. This is a little bit of this is where we'll learn about this person's dear self.
Okay.
deer status.
All right.
So in my spare time, I go out to my yard. In my spare time, I go out to my yard and I prance around and I eat grass. And I just watch it because it helps me feel like in tune with my dear self.
Look at Jerry.
What?
So I do my best. I do my best to be.
She's getting in tune with her dear self.
All right. People are watching, right? Let's see how many people.
Oh yeah, we need somebody watching the chat.
Hold on, I'm gonna get
watching
something
the
for
chat.
this deer.
Do it, Dave.
Be right back.
I mean, Jerry. Do it, Jerry. He's gonna go get a deer head for us. I can't wait.
Oh, good.
Or just a gun.
Yeah. Oh no! Now we're totally. Stream's totally going down
That's
now.
it. Yep.
Jesus, what the fuck is that, Jerry? Yeah, what is that?
It's just an AR-15.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
nothing
that's
special.
all. That's all it is.
It just looks badass, you know.
Yeah.
It looks like something that Arnold would have in each hand, and not aim and just shoot, you know. So this person has been getting a lot of heat online, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Yes, go back up to the video right before that one.
All right.
And here's what the person says about that.
But I'm hanging in there, and I'm not going anywhere. I have power. They can't take it away from me. And honestly, you know, there are some people that should be afraid of me, and that they are, because I represent moderation and diversity, and I'm gonna come for hurtful, harmful people. If you're a really shitty person, I'm gonna stand up against you.
Moderation.
Period. And Twitch has endorsed me to do that. So
There you go. Twitch has endorsed this person to abuse their power.
She represents mental instability.
Because they dare not. They dare not.
I am really agitated. I'm not going to say agitated. I'm pissed Dave's not here for this.
Yeah.
I'm going to force all these videos on him at a later point.
He deserves it.
He does. Now go back up now to the deergasm. This is
first
the
one.
Yes,
yeah.
please.
Now this is the pinnacle of deer of trans deer. Now, so this person is now being stroked by their. I guess I'm assuming their, we'll say, partner in some way. I don't want to assume,
Fawn.
but
Oh, wait,
what
that's the young one.
they're being fawned over by. There you go. I'll replace Dave
Nice.
today. And they're being stroked, and they're gonna have a deergasm. So here we go.
thank you.
Oh, so satisfying.
Trust and Safety Council.
I mean, I don't.
Why?
So this
Listen,
person obviously has no idea of actual deer anatomy
yeah.
because they don't feel anything in
In
their
their
antlers.
antlers. Yeah.
Yeah, you can saw those things right off.
Yeah, they don't
No.
care.
This bothers me so much.
Well, it's to me, and here I'll give my straight. This is my Nathan being at his kindest and most honest. I think this person has had a very difficult life, and they have gone down this path, this whole deer thing. They've become trans. You know, this person was obviously born male, and you know they've decided they've gone down the path of being a trans woman. and I just see someone that has dug themselves down into a hole of their own delusions.
Can't turn back now.
You're on stream wearing antlers and you're talking about chewing on grass and having a deergasm. I mean, you don't. It's not helping someone to be in there and to like stroke them and help them along in this. I think you're just you're it's like you're pushing something. You're pushing an explosion down the road, and it's
Yeah.
just going to get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
This person needs to deal with some things. This isn't good or healthy in any way. And then on top of that, to give this person some power over others when they straight out say, well, if
probably
you're a
were
shitty person, I'm going to come down on you. Basically.
They're probably thirsty for that power because they were probably bullied or mistreated
right
growing up and stuff, and now I don't know what kind of power do they have.
I don't know, probably
I guess
to tattletale
people off of Twitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tattletale.
Let me hear some other opinions on this. Becca.
Yeah. Well, first off, you said that this person was a male that has transitioned to a female. But what you should have said was this is a deer that was born as a human first.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Shit.
You
I'm trying.
you would say based on the videos that they kind of seem happy, but they don't, because
I'm looking into the mouth of madness. I'm not looking at happiness there. Yeah.
But the whole idea of not having the voice chat because it's unfair. What is it? Just that they're afraid that people will hear them talk and understand that they're not a deer? Like, I don't understand.
Maybe they recognize their voice and start picking on them or something.
There are people who are there are trans people who are not comfortable with their voices. So their voice does not sound the way they wish it to. Therefore, it is discriminatory to ask them if they want to compete at the highest levels to have to chat.
I just don't understand.
You won't be able to compete at all because you can't talk to anybody. You can't type all that stuff out.
But if it's everyone for themselves, then what communication is necessary? I don't understand this. Why do you need to communicate with your opponents? It doesn't make any sense. You shouldn't want to, unless it's to egg them on. If you're trying to trash talk.
Well, no, you're communicating. We're talking about communicating with teammates.
Oh,
at the highest level, you want to. If you're winning, you need to be communicating with your teammates.
Well, right.
So this is the person that's been left too many times because they were annoyed. The other people were annoyed that they're just starting to fight back by saying there shouldn't be voice chat at all. Is that what it is? Like, people just got annoyed with this person because they
I think you got it just right. They were annoyed with him and kicked him off.
Oh.
Well, my real question is how far is, at this point in where we are in society, how far is the law willing to go to protect what this person believes about themselves? Say somebody hurt them. Well, obviously, if they got hurt. Well, what I'm trying to say is, if Jerry shot this person because it was deer season, would he go to jail for murdering a human?
Yeah.
But the human identified as a deer.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because they identified as a deer, so is it legal? Is it fair?
if they're walking around in the woods looking like a deer.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, you basically just threatened this person. This is.
Oh, did I? I didn't.
Now our channel.
This is a threat. You threatened this trans.
It was a hypothetical. If anybody's listening, it was hypothetical. It was not a threat. I'm sorry.
No, somebody literally, somebody made a meme. It was a picture of Big Buck Hunter in an arcade, and they had put this person's face on the screen of the Big Buck Hunter, And now this person and everybody else is calling that a death threat, and there's all these, it's like, oh, the far right is out to murder me and all this stuff. No, we're not murdering you. We're laughing.
Yeah.
We're a little confused and perhaps concerned.
Yeah, your ego's gotten too big if you think that this is a threat.
Jerry, is there anything you can add to this without picking up your gun? Drake support
No.
No,
I think it's.
I'm good.
Go ahead. Did you have something?
No. It's too stupid to even talk about.
I think it's a bit of an oxymoron, though. If what they want is for people to just have the opinion of to each their own, for them to thrust anything on anybody else. I don't care that this person wants to be a deer or a man or a woman. I don't give a shit. It's the encroaching on anybody else's life, their freedoms to have voice chat or whatever else, whatever other reasons that they might have to ban somebody or whatever. I don't do your thing. You've obviously got viewers because the chat was scrolling. They obviously have people on there. Do it. Understand that if you're doing anything that is abnormal to society, that's a little off base. I mean, it could be a little, just very little off base, and someone's gonna find a reason to laugh about it. You're gonna need a little bit of a thick skin. We should be able to laugh at this person with zero repercussions. We don't wish harm on her, or at least I don't. Jerry might, but I don't wish harm on this person.
For clarity, I do not wish harm on this person.
Yeah, these are jokes.
I know. But so anybody listening, they're all jokes. We can laugh at funny people. We can laugh at them. But
they would call that abuse. They would call that questioning their humanity.
It's not. It's not.
Well, see, that's the thing. I would say Jerry and I are out of everybody here are probably the farthest right. I mean, I think most of you other guys don't even really care about politics at all. I would put myself on the as somewhat of a libertarian,
right? Yeah, and, I think I would too.
But you've said I would say you lean left on a lot of things, and you lean right on other things. But the thing is, like, your statement just now was a sensible one, and it was kind of based on that kind of liberty mindset of you do you and I'll do me, and we don't don't tell me what to do, I won't tell you what to do.
Right.
Well, kind of a lot of these people now, it's going the way of, well, if you criticize this, or that means it's hate speech, and it is literally it's just like a physical attack. You're now attacking me.
Yeah.
And I can't deal with that. And part of that is just we're not raising people now, and we're not raising kids to be tough and deal with that kind of adversity. It's all, let's be as nice and sweet as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We turned joking into criticism, and criticism into hate speech.
Yeah.
They're jokes.
This lady, the article claims, says she's a she throughout the article. Doesn't really care what we have to think, because it says right here, she thinks white men's opinions don't matter. So no matter what we say, it doesn't matter to her.
Well, there you go.
There you go. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, then, good. We
Weird
got some common ground.
This person's origins. It's a little weird. I'm a little suspect of that.
I wonder if she cares what her dad thinks.
I'm sure there's some serious daddy issues there.
Yeah.
Serious issues. Sadly.
Dad was a buck hunter. That's all he cared about.
Oh.
It's sad. I know you said buck hunter, but I heard butt cunter.
You've been out there cutting in butts, ain't you?
Unfortunately, butt cunter cannot be the title of this episode.
I was just thinking that. It could be the name of my poem, but it doesn't really fit.
How about cuck bunter?
Yeah, there you go.
Cuck bunter.
Cuck bunter. Right. I don't think you can say cuck either. Cuck is now another one that's been a lot of chats ban the word.
Didn't
cuck.
Jimmy Kimmel say that one time at like a Grammys or Oscars or something?
Yeah, a lot of people's been saying cucks.
No, it's been, it's one of these words like that the left, the media, they take it and assign it to, it's like, oh, it's an alt-right term. It's like some
Karen.
people that are conservative said this one thing, therefore Nazis say this thing. Therefore, if you say the word cuck, that means you're a Nazi.
Yep.
It's just like Elon Musk. If you saw his tweet, take the red pill. You saw that, right? So
Yeah,
the red pill is.
I mean, I get the reference, but I didn't know
So
what he was talking about.
It's a reference to the Matrix, and it has in online. It has become taking the red pill means someone that has figured out, they have basically gone conservative. They have basically seen the light and gone, oh shit, this is, this liberal stuff is bullshit, and I'm taking the red pill. I'm now, leaning to the right.
Yeah.
That's all it means. But you see these articles saying, Elon Musk says take the red pill. That's tied to men's rights activists. It's tied to the alt-right. And they'll take these specific people that maybe have said this term, but then portray it as anybody that says that is therefore this. So somebody that's a white nationalist said take the red pill, therefore Elon Musk is a white nationalist.
Oh my God.
That's how the media, especially social media and these kind of trash websites, how they operate, how they paint the narrative in these broad strokes. I love this shit Elon's doing. I think it's fucking hilarious. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's rattling people.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people a lot of people in the space community don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
They don't want to address it at all.
That's what
there was a podcast I was listening to today, and it's a space podcast. It's just like a once a month, and it's a couple of guys that do their own pretty successful space podcasts. And but it's like a casual one where they drink beer. They even talk about what beer they're drinking and stuff. It's supposed to be very casual. And then somebody mentioned Elon Musk, and they're like, I don't really want to talk about him right now. What? I mean, I get it because, a lot of the stuff is political, I guess, in nature, and it's not space related, but it's like the space community is like kind of disowning him right now.
It's the cognitive dissonance, because you look at Elon and he's doing all these and I would say truly progressive things. Like he's trying to get us to Mars. He is trying to get sustainable resources for energy, electric cars. He's got the tunnel thing. He's doing all these different things to try to actually advance science and engineering to push us to another level. And that's admirable no matter what, side of the political spectrum you are. But then he says this thing that is situated to the right. So they've got this, like, this guy he's like supposed to be like doing all this awesome stuff, but oh no, he said this one thing.
Yeah.
He said this thing that involves, freeing America. Oh, no. He doesn't want to be locked down. So they don't want to think about it because cognitive dissonance is very uncomfortable. It makes you very uncomfortable. Everybody has experienced it if they think about it, and you can look at times in your life when you've experienced those things.
Yeah. A lot of hypocrites. An example, and it doesn't really go along the same lines, but what makes me think of is, there's with the COVID, NASA's official position is don't come here, but I've seen people push that, and then I've also seen them talk about where they're going to watch the launch from. They're like, yeah, don't come here for, you got to save, social distancing and stuff. And then they talk about where they're going to watch the launch from. There's a disconnect there, right? Like they will say one thing, and then, their real self is revealed in casual conversation. But when, you're talking on social media and judging people on 140 characters, then you have to seem like a hero. Carry the torch. Yeah.
I was waiting a second to see if anybody wanted to jump in. I didn't want to filibuster. Let's go to whatever Jerry brought.
Yes.
Steve, I actually just sent you another one too.
Okay.
Ooh,
I just found it, but
hot update.
yeah.
Hot
So
off
this
the
one,
press.
the one that you just had about the Florida woman.
Yeah, it's up, but you
Okay.
just can't see it right this second.
Oh, I didn't. Sorry, I texted it to you. I didn't email it to you. Sorry.
Uh-oh. Okay, that's going to make it more difficult, but
I'm sorry.
we'll do this one first.
Okay. So you can see the headline: A Florida woman
We didn't hear
arrested
about
after
this.
kissing strangers at bar, calling 911 on the same bar for violating social distancing rules. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit. Scroll down to her picture there, Steve.
Yeah.
There she is. So is Melbourne, by the way.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, this is not very far.
Miss Audra Adams was charged with trespassing and disorderly conduct, where they found her in the parking lot refusing to leave. She was trying to kiss random patrons inside the bar before she was asked to leave. She refused, then wandered into the parking lot, where she refused to leave. Police were there already, offered to call her a cab or phone her family, but instead she sat on the ground and stated she wouldn't go. While the police were there, she called 911 5 times.
Well, it
including
was one of the times was while they were there, right?
Well, once after the police had already responded, and once again when police were questioning her in the parking lot.
Oh, okay.
So the police were talking to her, and she called 911 because she felt the bar was not practicing social distancing or following the guidelines to be open. They asked her to leave, at which point, again, she refused and stated she would sit in the parking lot all night. She was then arrested and turned over to the sheriff's office.
This
Man,
is
you got
classic
cop-
dumb drunk.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got cops offering to call a cab.
Oh,
That's your. I mean,
that's your ticket out of there.
yeah, you got the golden ticket, man. They're being nice to you,
Fuck yeah.
giving you every chance.
Yeah, so I saw that today, and I actually sent it to Dave a couple hours ago, and then
Of course they're not
got the
following
invite to
social
come on, so-
distancing guidelines. They have a drunk bitch in there trying to kiss everybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, I need one of you guys down in Florida to track this woman down, get an interview, get a kiss.
Get a kiss.
Yeah, Becca, you're on it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Get a kiss from her.
Are you looking her up on Facebook already, or?
maybe.
I mean, being that we're geographically close to her, she might actually show up on a search.
Even if she didn't, I'd find it.
Did you guys hear about the off Facebook data that Facebook is collecting now? Where they're collecting data from other apps, including bank apps.
Wow.
Yeah, you can go if you go into the settings on the Facebook app. You got to dig, but you can find off. It's like off Facebook data, I think is what it's called. And then when you go to turn it off, it warns you. Now you can do this, but any websites that you've ever used Facebook to sign into, you won't be able to do that anymore. You won't be able to sign into those websites anymore. So it's linked to that as well. And that's obviously how they keep you on the hook.
So on Android, it's under settings, and then under privacy. Under your Facebook information, it says off Facebook activity.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
And you can manage it or clear the history.
Yeah, you can clear the history. And you can also go in and turn it off completely, but then they warn you that, hey, you're not going to be able to log into these websites and of course, I mean, I know Nathan probably hasn't because he hasn't used Facebook in years, but throughout the years, just for ease of access, I have used Facebook to sign into certain things. And
I tried it for 1 week. Fuck it.
Yeah.
But it says even if you clear the history, you still see the same number of ads and everything. I mean, it's...
Well, I'm not worried about the ads. I understand that there's going to be ads. I get that. But there needs to be a limit on what they can look into. I mean,
Oh yeah, what are they doing with it? Are they selling the info? Like, what are they doing?
they're using it to, well, I'm sure they are, but they say they're using it to give you more personalized ads, things that you might actually buy. They're not trying to sell me the cunnilingus sex toy device.
Why not?
They have no reason to think I would want it.
That might be a fun thing to talk about. What does everybody see in their ads on Facebook?
Yeah, that would be a fun thing to talk
It's kind of
about.
embarrassing. Actually.
I mean, I don't use Facebook, but I do get Google ads, you know, on certain websites for stuff that I've searched for on Amazon, like stuff that I've searched for and bought or haven't bought. Like I'll get ads for that stuff. But you know, other than that, well, there was that one time somebody talked about a phonograph, and I got an ad for that. That was
Oh,
really
I remember that.
that was really
Yeah.
fucking creepy.
I get ads for
Extends.
hair loss treatment and like for a lot of garage lights. And lately I've been getting ads for like the spandex that lifts women's butts.
Oh, that's all I
Oh.
see.
And I don't know why I'm getting those.
Mine's
but I'm
just
getting them.
asses all day long. It's just asses and leggings and
Yeah.
shorts.
Second thing on my Facebook timeline, real estate photographer pro. I've seen this ad before. It's like a online training to get into real estate photography. Let's see. Scroll. Let's see. We got the purple mattress. All right. Well, there is one in my residence. What else we got? What's this? Lunar collection. T-shirts and clothing line for space things. Yeah. Pretty easy to guess what I might be interested in. How often do I click on any of them? Never.
Oh, they get me all the time.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's like, it's like Pavlov over here, right?
They know what I like and they show it to me. And
Do
I
you
click on
buy?
it.
Do you buy any of it?
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah. Can you give me an example?
A picture of my soulmate.
Uh-huh.
Also,
Yeah.
like bikini tops and all kinds of different things, dresses. They know what I like and they show it to me. And sometimes I buy it. Every once in a while.
I mean, they say Google knows you better than you do at this point.
I guess I believe it.
Steve-O, what did you have for us?
Well, just kind of excited about the whole Bob and Doug. So today was
The whole
kind of
Bob and Doug?
Bob and Doug. They're the astronauts that are flying next week.
Okay.
So today the big news that everybody was following was they left Houston, which is where the astronauts live for training, and they flew in a Gulfstream jet, which is actually older than I thought. I think it's from like 1980. But they arrived here at Kennedy Space Center today and gave a little speech. This is a picture of Bob and Doug. Put them in your faces. Look at them. Look, that's Bob and Doug right yonder.
Look at them.
Look at old Bob and Doug. That's them sitting in the simulator, I believe. There's your rocket right there. It'll be a different one. This is from last year. This was from the test flight with only one, with no astronauts. But the tidbit that I pulled for the show was that the next week, some of that time they'll be spending out here at the old astronaut beach house, which it's right between Space Launch Complex 40 and 41. It's a historical place that is actually left over from when there used to be a subdivision out there, back when the U.S. government took over this area. Was it eminent domain? Is that? Oh, what's the?
Yeah, that's what they do.
Is that
That's
what it
what they
is?
call when they take everybody's land. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the only house that remained. They demolished all the others, and this is the one that astronauts and their families stay at, like leading up to the launch. They'll have like a barbecue or something. And so that's where they're going to be staying. I don't think they stay there the entire time. I watched a video about it, and it sounds to me like maybe like the day before launch, maybe a couple days before, they spend some time out there. I mean, I can't imagine back in the shuttle days when there'd be like up to 7 astronauts on a shuttle. They're not all staying here, of course. But yeah, that's where they're going to be there for a little time. They've got one more big task to do this weekend, which is to basically go through all the motions. They're going to put on the suits. They're going to be driven out to the launch pad. They're going to get in the Dragon and go through all the kind of the lead up to flight that they, just like they normally would on actual launch day, just to make sure everybody's sharp. And then next Wednesday, 4:33 p.m. Eastern Time. That is 8:33 UTC for those keeping track. They're going to launch to the space station. Hopefully, we're hoping that next week is not another they got scrubbed, and then Saturday, the 30th, would be their backup day. But I do want to encourage everybody, whatever time you have. I understand not everybody is taking time off for this thing, but they are going to have from 4 hours prior to launch. That's when NASA TV is going to go live with their coverage on this launch, and then up until they dock with the space station. And I'm assuming hatch open. They're going to actually enter the space station before NASA TV cuts off their coverage. So that it's supposed to be from launch to docking. It's supposed to be 19 hours, so it's going to be about 24 hours of coverage. And one can assume that during the downtime, once they're in orbit, you'll see them in the capsule, moving around, doing what. I mean, there's going to come a point where they don't have any official business to do, and maybe they've got something planned. It might be kind of neat, but it's real easy to find, because if you use YouTube, just search for NASA TV, and they've got a live stream. It actually goes 24/7 if you don't already know.
So the actual launch is scheduled for around 4:30.
Yeah, 4:33 next Wednesday, the 27th.
Are you going to stream anything, or what are you going to do?
Yeah, I think I am. I'm gonna on pressing for flight. I think I'm gonna just stream it. I'm not necessarily gonna do like trying to play host or anything. There's several streamers that do that. Like there's NASA Space Flight, there's Everyday Astronaut, there's of course the NASA TV stream and stuff. But I just figured it might be worthwhile to, throw a phone on a tripod, and I'll talk, and I'll probably show around like the press site, and kind of course we're still doing the social distancing thing, so I can't like walk right up to people and talk to them necessarily, but I was thinking about kind of doing what I could to show people what it's like to be at the press site for.
Yeah.
I'm at a special press site. It's not the NASA, because I already told you I didn't get approved by NASA, but
Right.
we have a media chief that has taken a few of us and found a place that's on Air Force grounds about 5 miles from the launch pad, and he's going to let us shoot from there.
That's
So
cool,
I figure,
man,
yeah.
Nice.
I mean, if you're really worried, you could bring everybody pool noodle hats.
Just to make sure. I like the inner tube table better, because at least there's a utility to it.
Yeah, it's a little heavy. I mean, get
But
it
it was
a
on
bus.
wheels. Granted,
Yeah,
we're going to
I
be
mean,
like on grass though, so it'd
yeah,
be a little
you-
difficult with that. Just bring just pack as many pool noodles in the back of my car as I can.
Yeah.
Hey, So I was actually at the media site for the last launch of the
The
shuttle.
media site, yeah.
The
That's not
media
where we're
site.
going to be. We're
Yep.
going to be somewhere else. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Right next to the
Yep.
VAB.
For
Yep.
the shuttle, the last shuttle launch.
But the very last shuttle launch,
Mhm.
where they actually launched astronauts, I was at that one,
That's awesome.
and 10 prior. But yeah,
Yeah.
I was at 11 total launches from that site.
That is about
mean-
as close as you can be. There's a
Yes, it is.
viewing gantry. Is the viewing gantry? Do you remember if the viewing gantry was open for 39A launches? Because it's like 2
It was
miles.
not. It was not. The
Not for
the
39A, maybe B.
the media center was the closest that they allowed anybody who was not a NASA employee,
Right.
and they said that anybody closer were actually in bunkers and stuff. Because they said if you were within a certain distance, the sound itself would kill you.
Right. Right. And then, of course, if there's an explosion on the pad, then you would be in serious trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very few people got approved to be media at this launch, and what it comes down to was that in the event of an explosion, they need to be able to get people into a building and still maintain 6 feet distance of everybody. Otherwise, because where the press site is, it's a big open field. You've been there. It's a huge open field. You could have hundreds of people there and everybody still maintain their distance. But it's in case of an emergency, they need to be able to get everybody into a building and still maintain the distance. So that's kind of what put the kibosh on that. But all that aside, it's going to be a big deal, and I think watching it live, even not being here, but watching it live is going to be way better than. I mean, it's just so much more exciting to be watching it live with. I mean, there's going to be millions of people tuning into it, and I don't know the solidarity. I think it's a good break from all the shit that's going on right now, and everybody just. Watch Bob and Doug fly. They're flying a spacecraft for the first time. We haven't done that since 1981. We haven't flown a brand new spacecraft since 1981. That was the space shuttle. So they're walking in the footsteps of John Young and Bob Crippen, and
Bob Crippen.
And Alan Shepard was the first to fly the Mercury capsule. I can't remember who was the first to fly Gemini. I don't remember, but
no, I'll wake up that day and I'll be watching, man.
Hell yeah.
I'll be able to see the whole thing, as long as everything goes well and goes through.
Now, one of the kind of the bummers is that as we get closer, they're starting to talk about weather. They haven't put out the weather report yet, but there are 50 landing spots around the planet that they have chosen that I don't know if they all have to align and have the right kind of weather, but a lot of them do, because if there's an abort and the capsule has to shoot off, like we had the in-flight abort test back in January, and where they purposely, ejected the capsule off the top of the rocket. If that has to happen anywhere in flight, there's all these landing spots that have to be ready for them to land without, having storms or whatever, because they're coming down under parachutes. Right. So it's the chances of them being able to launch next Wednesday are slim, but the chances of them being able to launch any day are going to be slim. So, it's hard to really say one way or the other if like I think they'll launch or not, but
When you get down to it, though, Steve-O, I'm kind of against this whole launch happening, and here's why. I don't know if you looked at Bob and what's his name?
Bob and Doug.
Bob and Doug. I don't know if you looked at Bob and Doug, but what I see is 2 white males, and this is a real problem for me. I don't see a female. I do not see a POC. I do not see a deerkin.
You don't know what they identify as.
Oh, you might be right. These guys are part of NASA.
Yeah, actually.
How many deer do you think work at NASA?
There's probably some roaming around on Kennedy Space Center.
yeah. We saw some boars out there.
I don't know if any are actually. I don't know if any of them are on the payroll.
Remember, we saw those wild boars in the parking lot
Yeah.
when we went to the Space Center.
Yeah. And there's gators and herons and all kinds of shit.
Well, I hope at least one of them's gay. Otherwise, I've got a big fucking problem with all of this.
Yeah. Well,
Big
Doug
fun.
had to fly because Doug was on the last shuttle flight. So there's two there's one on the SpaceX side and there's one on the Boeing side. There's Doug Hurley flew on Atlantis, the last flight of the shuttle, and so did Chris Ferguson. Now Chris Ferguson.
But why does he have to go because he was on the last shuttle?
Well, it doesn't have to, but there was this idea that they had during the last flight where they left a little, just one of those little American flags that you just, you're in a crowd and you just wave this little American flag. They left one on the space station and they said the next crew to fly out of the United States will go and grab that flag. So it's like a capture the flag game. And I guess they thought that it would be neat to have each team have their first flight have one of those. So, on the SpaceX side, you've got Doug, and then on the other side, you've got Chris Ferguson. And so I don't know. When you hear them talk about it, it's not like that didn't go into it. It's just these are the best of the best, and these are the two guys. They're the right guys for the job. And I'm sure that is most of it. But I think that, politically, they're like, why don't we, we'll have our first cruise for the Dragon and the first crew for the Starliner, and we'll make sure that one member of each crew is someone that flew on the last shuttle.
Okay. Sounds good, man. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So to close out the show, bring up that last thing. We're going to do a real quick scene here.
Oh, yeah, the Joe Rogan thing.
If y'all heard scroll down, Steve-O, don't pop it off early, but
okay.
If y'all heard the big news about Joe Rogan, not the news that he went to Spotify, this is some other news.
Oh, this one.
In the following transcript of an interview between what's it, John McAfee? Is that his first name? John McAfee and
John McAfee.
John McAfee.
I'd have said McAfee too.
Thank you. And Killstream owner Ethan Ralph, McAfee alleges that he and Rogan are on poor terms due to a twin dwarf stealing incident in Bangkok. So,
twin dwarf stealing. Is this not kidnapping? What is
I mean, I guess we'll see. Steve-O, for ease of use, let's have you play Ethan Ralph, and I'll play McAfee.
All right. Should I? I don't know anything about this person, so
I don't know either. Just give it your best shot, man.
I think we've got about 12 minutes scheduled with you here. If you want to go a little bit longer,
you're cheating, my friend. You have 9, but maybe I'll give you 10.
Now, a couple people did want me to submit this question about why Joe Rogan won't have you on his show. Apparently, that's a thing. I don't know if you want to go into that or if there's a...
Okay, I'd be happy to. This is more about him than me. I mean, I'm a reasonable motherfucker. So in Bangkok, 2016. So we were there. Now I had on my own fucking accord bought through this massive goddamn top of the hotel chain hotel to this presidential suite. Brought 2 goddamn twin dwarfs. 2 fucking twin dwarfs.
That's hard to find.
Dang, right? You find 2 fucking twin goddamn dwarfs anywhere on this planet. Hey, you tell me, you call me. All right, so now, women, very fucking attractive, under 30, and Thai for fuck's sake. Trained in the arts of sex you could not fucking imagine. Now, so I brought these goddamn dwarfs. What did he bring? Jack fucking shit. Now, after 2 hours of intense partying, the motherfucker leaves. Leaves with what? My 2 goddamn dwarfs. Now you think I am going to go on his fucking show? Fuck you, Joe. I mean, fuck you. And I want the goddamn dwarfs back. Whatever you did with them, I promise, it could not have been as much fun as what I could have done. Does that help?
That does help elucidate the issue. Greatly so. I have to say, you shed some new light on that.
There we go.
Oh, that's it.
There's the scene.
That was great.
Inside the mind of John McAfee.
Great job.
John McAfee. Noted insane person.
So he's accusing Joe Rogan of stealing his dwarfs?
Stole his dwarfs. Stole his sex dwarfs. I would like to point out too. I've learned that McAfee, his main thing is he has a sex swing, and he likes to get hookers and put them in the swing, and then lay under the swing and have them shit on him.
Oh,
Like just shit all over him. That's like
hey
his
man, he's rich.
You know,
Let him
do whatever the fuck he wants.
He likes to see that butthole just open up.
God.
Who doesn't? Am I right?
Right.
Oh.
Just like seeing it.
Kind of like opening a pee hole.
Yeah, just bigger and messier.
Oh, poor Joe.
I need one guest. I don't know who that guest might be to show up on his show and randomly ask him about that.
Oh, that would be good.
Alex Jones, do it, Alex Jones. You got to have Alex Jones back on.
I hear you like to steal dwarfs.
I'd buy a couple Thai dwarfs.
They're stealing dwarfs over here. Where they at, Joe? Come on, we're friends. You can tell me where they're
fuck twins. I never fucked twin dwarfs. I'll take a couple trannies.
I'll do it, Joe. I'm here to tell the truth.
Oh, I've had a lot of fun tonight. Thank you, Jerry, for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you, Jerry.
Such short notice. We hit the apocalypse hits two of our people. We always can call Jerry. Dude, look at that GIF. That's fucking awesome, man.
Oh yeah, that
holy shit.
Leopard.
This leopard attacks a dude.
And then the dogs attack the leopard.
And a fucking pack of dogs attack the leopard. That's
good doggies.
The internet's amazing.
Yeah.
I saw one of a cat chasing a bear. That was pretty good. Backed that bear up and then chased him away.
Back the bear up.
Yeah. Becca, I think I've seen you writing poetry.
I have. Guilty as charged.
I'm looking forward to this. Hit us with some poetry.
Okay. Well, this one is called Stock Marimba. It's kind of like a prayer.
Okay.
May you live in perfect weather and always find common ground to lean on. May you work around threatening issues without ever having to feel tested. May you leave well and come back better, surrounded by every advantage possible. May you find the right mood to battle safety and end up with something satisfying. And may you have power in each hand and truly experience what it's like to be free.
Wow, shit.
I'll read that at weddings one day.
Yeah, that was a good one. Usually your poems are like really dark about death and existential like turmoil and shit. That was great. That was very positive, uplifting. That it's like you would find that on a bookmark in a hymnal somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a Christmas card.
Yeah, that was great.
Hey.
Thank you, Becca. Thank you, Haywood Banks, for our theme song.
Even though we get a strike for it every week.
Thank you for the strike as well, Haywood. We appreciate it.
Follow us on Twitter so you get that link for the channel and know when we're going live every week. _verbal assault _ which we do go live every Wednesday, 10:30, right here on the YouTubes. 10:30 Wednesdays. Do it.
Be sure to support us anywhere you get your podcast, through iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play. Be sure to leave a 5-star review and support us on patreon.com/verbal assault.
That's right.
Jerry, do you know our phone number? You've called it more than anyone else.
865-316-6955.
Fuck yeah. Say it one more time.
865-316-6955.
Fuck yeah. Thank you, Jerry.
You're welcome. Leave a voicemail. Somebody.
Just like Jerry does. All right. Somebody Jerry, you wanna be Dave right here?
Deuces.